सीता को रावण ले आया, सागर कूद गए हनुमान। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। पता लगाया, भगत विभीषण का घर आया, हनुमान ने किया प्रणाम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। अशोक वाटिका हनुमत आए, वृक्ष तले सीता को पाए, आंसू बरसे हाथों राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा, निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। नमः सूर्याय चन्द्राय मंगलाय बुधाय च, गुरु शुक्र शनिभ्यश्च राहुवे केतुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
Inhale deeply with Va, exhale deeply with C. Position Manadi. Follow with your 7 times. Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Shri Guru Bhadagaya Namaha. 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 Om Shri Guru Padigaya 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 Namaha. Deep turns into Kriya consciousness and meditation. We're going to do some Kundalini Pranayam. Connecting the universal energy. Follow it through. First pranayam, inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply. See equally. Through Sushumna, following 7 times. The deep down Kriya consciousness, the second pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply through. See, halfway through. Sushumna Nadi. Follow me 7 times. The deep transcendental Kriya consciousness. Let's do the third pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply. See a single breath. Follow me 7 times. The deep transcendental Kriya conscious meditation and the Kriya pranayama. We are getting in touch with the universal energy. With that connection, let's pray deeply, sincerely, with your heart and mind and soul. The welfare of the world. As all of you know, the infectious diseases start spreading and still going on in some parts of the world, variants and other things. So let's pray the Mantri Maharishi, Mata Babaji and Vishnu, to to make this world free of all these infection diseases, killing diseases. 7 times, sure.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Another problem we have to pray for is the world peace and wars. A lot of innocent people are suffering because of ignorance of some people. So we're going to pray Lord Bhairava to interfere with this and make world peace upon everything in the world. So let's start praying for it 7 times as usual through Mahata Bhavaji and Lord Bhairava. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tano Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tano Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. Om Swarnadvaje Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad. For the Sathsang part today, I'm going to continue with the light book by Lord Muruga. He has been talking quite a lot about this using sunlight for healthy life as well as life from the world. So we're going to continue that from the last class, few words, and then we'll continue.
As we are talking about the sunlight and the 16 narrates that it brings the rays of different sunlight, each of the narrate brings with itself the different properties of the different metallic energy, which then combines with the three strands, which then combines with uh, five elemental strands in order to give different types of energy for every 24 minutes. To remind that people that one narrative is equal to 24 minutes, and the one daytime is counted as from one sunrise the previous day to the sunrise of the next day. And also the Brahma Muhurtam is 3 hours before the sunrise, whatever the particular day is. We went through the mercury metallic bits, and the first 12 chapters were on the mercury metallic bits and how it affects the earth as well as the human soul. We are in amidst talking about the copper metallic bits and its properties and how it affects the earth as well as the human soul. So last class we talked about the copper metallic bits and the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th narigate during the day, which are very important for certain circulatory issues that the body may have. So, talking about the 18th narigate, where the copper metallic bit combines with the heat strand and then combines with the vayu or the air elemental bit. This happens during the 18th navigate, which helps the energy to spread all over the body. The property of the water, which follows through in the 19th navigate, also helps the spread. Movement of blood also happens towards the heart during this 18th navigate because of the vayu or the air particles. Even the nerve endings or the branch of the blood that reaches the brain also gets this energy due to the vayu or the air bits. It joins this air with the oxygen, which is your arterial blood. Now, three types of energy combine during this navigate in order to reach the brain. The first type of energy is the energy gotten from the pituitary gland that are present in the brain, and those energies are important. The second form of energy is the energy from the heat and the vayu along with the copper energy. And the third form of energy is the water content in your red blood cells, which also helps. So these three types of energy are important during the 18th and the 19th narigate, which helps to reach the blood to the brain. And if any of these narigates are affected, if any of these energies are affected, poor circulation is shown in the veins. The property of air or vayu is not to give energy to the organs, but actually help the movement of this energy to reach the organs. In each of the nerve endings or the nerve, to help it to move faster, air particles do help. The energy in the blood also has to reach the brain and also to supply energy to the subatomic particles that are imprisoned within the sacred space between the pituitary and the pineal gland, and they get their energy via vayu particles or air particles also. Thus, the vayu or the air particle has less density and has no physical form, and it travels with all metallic bits, but in presence of copper energy, it has this special effect. They will mix thoroughly during the 18th and 19th navigate, and when it is exposed to sunlight, it will help in circulation, and circulation will be at its best. In the other metallic bits like the gold and the silver and the mercury, it travels separately without combining with blood. But during the 18th navigate, unobstructed flow of energy in the blood against gravity helps the brain as well as the body to give energy to the subatomic bits for balanced circulation. Because at the end of Kali Yuga, now we're showing how it affects the earth. Because at the end of Kali Yuga, the pace of the earth and the human movements are also faster. It is not understood properly and it's not taken in properly. One needs to have very astute knowledge or very sharp knowledge in this in order to understand and be and make it more effective. If this is understood well and it is used and followed, one can understand how the blood can flow against gravity and also how can it can release the subatomic particles and give it energy. For human body and soul, the food of light is very, very important. What kind of food or how the good food is consumed and chosen by humans, along with the balanced food and along with the proper sunlight, one can reach their optimal energy level. 60 narigas, even during sleeping, are working when the sunlight is coming, but one has to understand this and take it in effectively. And thus, meditation is provided as a very important tool to receive this and take it with awareness, like the seers and our siddhas. This knowledge was given during the early days, but in Kali Yuga, it is being explained very simply by Lord Muruga, which are actually the Vedas during that time. Seers and our Siddhas tasted the sunlight and researched the sunlight, and they used it very wisely to live their lives and appropriately enhance it. That Vedic knowledge was transferred but was not given very openly, and it was given through twilight language during those times. But now it is given in the simplest form because it was asked with reverence and through prayers over a long period of time. Just like the six kinds of taste, there are six kinds of navigate, where it is the combination, where you have your metallic bit, which is
60 combinations.
there are 60 kinds. Oh, sorry, there are 60 kinds of navigate, which is the metallic, which are the four metallic bits, which is your mercury, copper, gold, and silver, which are different in taste. Then you have your three strands, which is your magnetic, heat, and the toxic strands, which are also a different taste. Then you have your five elemental bits, which is the akash, heat, air, water, and earth, which also have a different taste. One has to feel and understand and take it to understand its taste. And humans on earth understand its taste. Humans on earth are minuscule compared to the sunlight's energy. So if one can feel it and use it and try to retain it within the human body forever, you can also reach for immortality. That was end of chapter 18. Chapter 19, we went on to talk a little bit of an overview where it talked about where sunlight has different properties, like I said, and it also has four metallic energies that comes to the three strands, and the quality of each of them changes accordingly. For each 16 navigats, you have different combination of energies. However, depending upon the seasons as well as the property of the light coming in, because of the seasons, the light also changes its qualities. Now, the four metallic bits that come in the order are first is mercury, then followed by copper, then followed by gold, and then followed by silver. First is so what are the things that change? The thing that change is the starting source. The things that change is the density. The things that change is the weight or the mass, as well as the last thing that changes also is the speed. Even though that it has different changes, it is coming continuously from the sun. The earth that comes closer to the sun during certain times of the year, and sometimes it is far away from the sun. When it is closer to the sun, there are different changes that come, and these changes that above it stated, and when it's far away, you have different changes. Thus, the distance causes this changes that happen to occur from because of the position of the earth and not because of the sunlight that is coming down. The intensity of the gravitational force of the earth towards the sun is also different at different times. because of the Earth's position towards the sun is changing. These changes all cause that comparative changes on the Earth that is facing towards the sun. Now, this same concept applies to the other planets also. Now, sun gives energy to the Earth. The center of the Earth has gravitational energy that is going upward. And once the gravitational energy meets with the sunlight that is coming down, a lot of swirls are that occur. And because of these swirls that occur, the changes are also formed in the density, weight, and speed. Now, the sun, according to Lord Muruga, is also self-rotating, and because of the heat energy, the other planets, it's because of the heat energy and because of the sun, these changes are occurring. But other planets are not affecting the sun. They will get attracted to the universal energy and they are going beyond, which is your vector value. The Earth's the planetary
Can
system.
you repeat the sentence? I think something wrong there.
What's that?
Can you repeat the
They're
sentence?
saying that that's because of the heat energy, other planets are not affecting the sun, but it is the sun that is affecting the other planets, where they get attracted towards the universal energy and they are approaching the vector value.
The sun's attraction
sun's
going away,
attractive
not
force
the
towards the-
yeah,
not the
towards the
planets.
vector, yeah.
Because the sun has more force on these planets.
Right.
The planetary system does not have a higher magnetic energy than the sun to attract the sun. Only the sun has a greater energy to attract them.
Planet.
Attract the planets. Only the Mercury or the metallic bits have the magnetic energy, and they always reside in the center of the sun, and it's often referred to as Isa energy or the godly or the divine energy. Intense form of magnetic energy along with the heat energy is gotten from the sun and only the sun. And this makes the other energy atomic bits. This is why the sun attracts other planets, and the purpose of the other planets is always to join the sun's energy, which is the highest energy in the universe also. During this swirl time, the gravitational force plus the sun's swirls and the sun's attraction is much more, so the strands of light comes towards the earth. Let me stop there.
Okay, very good. So the interaction of the sun's light and variation through these strands, magnetic, heat, and toxic strands, and also the variations once it reaches the earth, variations of different atomic energies in terms of Akash, heat, air, water, and the earth. That happens and reaches the earth. So that's what we are studying about. That Muruga always also gives more information about which is good for us, when you can take them, when you can avoid them to improve our health. And most of our saints and rishis meditated on these techniques and they followed strictly. So there's another reason why they had a healthy life in hundreds and thousands of years. So what Muruga is giving us in open plain words to us. Thanks to Mahata Babaji, we have a chance to read them.
Can you speak a little louder?
Let's continue. Okay. Good. So let's continue. தாமிர ஒளியாற்றல் குறித்தே அறிந்திடும் இத்தருணத்தில் புவிக்கோளின் இருப்பு நிலையின் மூலம் ஒளியாற்றலின் மூலக்கூறுகளும் தன்மையும் மாற்றமுறும் என்பதனை தெளிவுற வேண்டும். தாமிர ஒளியாற்றல், they are just focusing on the copper mineral, that is the second 15th Norigai. The first 15 we talked about the mercury energy. The second 15 Norigai is going to be copper. We already talked about 16th Norigai, 17th Norigai, and 18th.
Even
19th also. So we are moving on to the rest of the Norigai until 30 for copper. புவிக்கோளின் இருப்பு நிலையின் மூலம் we are understanding the earth status. ஒளியாற்றல் மூலக்கூறுகளும் தன்மையும் மாற்றமுறும். So according to the Earth's gravitational force, the sunlight is going to change accordingly, which is falling on the Earth. The same thing will happen to other planets also. Say, for example, in Venus and Jupiter, Pluto, all the other planets, depending on their magnetic attraction, the sunlight is going to have a different influence. That's what it means. புவிக்கோள் எத்தருணத்தில் பாதசாற்றுகள் அப்புரிய அளவில் பெற்றிடும் என்பதையும் மற்ற ஒளியாற்றுகள் எத்தருணம் புவியினை எளிதாக ஏற்றிடும் என்பதையும் உணர வேண்டும். So when does this earth gets more energy through mercury and copper, we should clearly understand. 60 வகையான ஒளியாற்றுகள் புவியினை அடைகின்றது எனினும் எத்தருணம் ஒத்த ஆற்றுகளாய் புவியினை அடைகிறது. So we are getting 60 different kind of sun's light because of the different combinations. But each other 24 minutes, we don't get the same. It's always different. Each other 24 minutes. That is why over a day, we have different kind of feelings, different kind of thoughts and all those things. We have to choose the best time to even to think and make some decisions. அனுதினமும் அவற்றின் அளவு மாறுபடும். Even every day, the amount of this energy is changing because of the seasons. Remember, we were talking about the closeness of the earth to the sun and the farther apart distance increasing of the planet earth from the sun varies depending on the seasons. We know that. So that also makes the changes. அனுதினமும் அவற்றின் அளவு மாறுபடும். தாமிர ஆற்றலின் தன்மையும் அதன் ஒளியிழலின் தன்மையும் புவியின் சுழற்சி காலத்தில் மாற்றமடையும் எனும் அதிக அளவில் நடைபெறும் செயல்படுத்தி தெரிய வேண்டும். Even though there is changes depending on the combinations of the strands and atomic energy bits, you should know when you can get the highest amount of copper energy, because that is energy which is going to increase your blood flow and increase the oxygen content and pranic energy. புவிக்கோளானது சூரியக்கோளினை ஒரு முறை சுற்றி வருகின்ற தருணத்தில் அவற்றிடையே உருவாகும் தொலைவு மற்றும் இடையே உருவாகும் ஆற்றல் பரிமாற்றம் என்பது மாறுபடும். Repeat. So the distance and the energy is going to be different for the planet Earth, and the receipt of the energy is going to be different depending on its location. All right, so it is going to be different. அவ்வகையிலே அனுதினமும் பூமியானது மேற்கொள்ளும் தற்சுழற்சி என்பது மாற்றப்படும். So Lord Muruga also says even the self-rotation of the earth itself, it seems going to be changing depending on location. So more science into it. So it is going to be, when the earth is going to be, I think, logical also. When the earth is going to be very close to the sun, it is self-rotation is going to be changing. It's going to be farther away from the sun, self-rotation is going to be changing also. All right, not only self-rotation, but also the attraction is going to be changing. All right. தெளிவுற அனுபவித்தல் வேண்டும். தாமிர ஒளியாற்றல் தன்மை குறித்தே இப்பாகமானது விளக்கிடும். மற்ற கனிமங்களின் தன்மைகளும் அவற்றின் அளவீடுகள் மற்ற கனிமங்களின் தன்மைகளும் அவற்றின் ஆற்றல் குறித்தே விளக்கப்படும். எனும் அவற்றின் அளவீடுகள் கால நேரத்திற்கு ஒத்தவையாக பல்வேறு மாற்றங்களை ஏற்றிவிடும் என்பதனை முழுமையாக உணர்தல் வேண்டும். Again, it's a repeat. So depending on the date, depending on the season, depending on the time of the day, all these things makes a lot of variations in the receipt of the sunlight, the copper energy. யுகங்களின் மாற்றங்கள் நிகழ்ந்தேறுவதும் அதன் பொருட்டே. Even the change of the yugas, like the change of yuga from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga, even that happens because of that, according to Lord Muruga. புவிக்கோளானது எத்தருணம் ஒத்த ஆற்றுகளையே சூரியக்கோளிலிருந்து பெற்று நின்றால் ஒளியாற்றில் மாற்றம் திகழாது. புவிக்கோளானது எத்தருணமும் ஒத்த ஆற்றுகளையே சூரியக்கோளிலிருந்து பெற்று நின்றால் ஒளியாற்றில் மாற்றம். If the earth is going to get the same kind of energy, the same amount of energy, then these changes won't happen. These yuga changes won't happen according to Lord Muruga. Because it is getting different energy, even yuga changes. ஆயினும் அவ்வகையில் செயல்கள் யாவும் நிகழ்வதில்லை. அதன் மூல காரணம் என்பது இயக்கத்தினால் உருவாகும் கழிவுகளே. The reason all this thing happens is when it is rotating, when it is moving, you also have some excretory products, some toxins are coming. I think we talked about it earlier, அமில கழிவுகள், the acidic waste. So acidic waste are coming. அமில கழிவுகள் யாவும் ஒளியாற்றுகளின் மூலம் புவியினை அடைவதனால். Remember we talked about the மின்மோடு where the gravitational attraction of the Earth is going to stop at the wind mode, and then you have the rotation, self-rotation, plural. And from there, only from that point onwards, the toxins is forming and coming back to the Earth. Toxic waste. That is the reason why all these changes of yugas also happen. So self-rotation changes, the amount of energy it creates gets changes. Eventually, that is the foundation for even the yuga change. I think essentially the toxic energy is going to stay a little longer and longer. It's going to stay from Satya to Kali Yuga. So that's why
I think it's related to the movement of the earth also. But in Satyuga it doesn't move a lot. Whereas in Kali Yuga it's moving. The movement of the
why
earth
it is
will
moving?
be
Toxic.
because of the toxins.
That's what you're saying. Any questions? So very, very scientific, interesting concept what Muruga is telling. But then it's related to our body health, circulation, and the earth rotation, earth energy, எல்லாமே சொல்றாரு. It's amazing. So let's continue. தாமிர ஒளியாற்றின் அலைகள் யாவும் புவியினை அடைவதில் தாமிர ஒளியாற்றின் அலைகள், the waves, யாவும் புவியினை அடைவதிலும் மாற்றம் உண்டு. Even the waves of the copper that is reaching the earth is also changes, it seems. All of you know, when you say waves, we always talk about wavelength, all the electromagnetic spectrum. Longer wavelength and shorter wavelength. Longer wavelength have less energy, shorter wavelengths have more energy. Same thing here also. Different amount of energy by the copper is the waves also change. Amount of energy from the waves also changes. எனினும் அதிக அளவிலே நடைபெற்ற செயலை அறிந்தல் வேண்டும். So what our main aim is where we can get highest amount of energy, right? So that we can give the pranic energy a lot from the sun. தாமிர ஒளியாற்றல் நிலையில் தோன்றும் வெப்ப இழைகளின் வாயு மூலக்கூறு குறித்து தொடர்ச்சியாக எழுதும். So Muruga is going to focus mainly on the copper and light, and then heat, and then air. Okay, that is 18th. Air and copper is 18th. So okay, still talking more on 18th then. வாயுவின் மூலக்கூறுகள் யாவும் தாமிர வெப்ப ஒளியினை கலப்பு கொண்டிடவுடன் இயக்கம் துரிதமடைகிறது. It is moving faster. It's like a repeat of what he said, right? It's reading. Okay. Anyway, the air plus heat plus copper, higher movement, higher energy. விரைந்து புவியினை அடைகின்ற கனிம வளமானது உயரிய சரி மாற்றி. See, not only it is coming faster, is the action is also prism, very, very sacred. It's sacred also. 60 வகையான கனிம ஆற்றல் யாவும் 4 வகை கனிமங்களை அடிப்படையாக கொண்டிருக்கும். We always know all these 60 different kind of combination depends on these 4: mercury, copper, gold, and silver. These 4 metallic energy. எனினும் 5 வகை மூலக்கூறுகளின் அடிப்படையில் மாற்றம் வரும். So those 5 atomic energy bits changes. What are the 5 atomic energy bits? Akash, heat, air, water, and the earth. So that changes, right? கனிமங்களின் சேர்க்கையால் எனினும் 5 வகை மூலக்கூறு அடிப்படையில் மாற்றம் வரும். 3ஆம் ஜாமத்தின் இறுதி நாழிகையில் வெளித்தோன்றும். 3ஆம் ஜாமத்தின் means each jam is 6 நாழிகை. 3 times 6 is 18. So the end of the 18. 3ஆம் ஜாமத்தின் இறுதி நாழிகையில் வெளித்தோன்றும் தாமிர ஆற்றலை உயர்ந்த இயக்கத்துடன். So 18th நாழிகை is the highest, right? 18th நாழிகை is the combination with the air. So that means the highest. I think that particular náliga we have to be very careful every day to get the energy. That's approximately about 10:40, approximately. So,
that's when a lot of things are happening. You have all these things happening. Highest copper energy is coming. You also have the swirl of the air, which is causing the blood to flow faster, improving circulation. Also, food eaten during that time, you get the maximum energy to the cells of the body and also for the brain.
So 10:45.
That'll change, depending on the sunrise.
It depends on the sunrise.
Approximately.
Now it's like about 7:10. So in the morning, that's what the sun rises.
Right.
So now based on that, we have to calculate the 24 minutes to come to 18, 24 minutes.
If it is 7:10 in the morning sunrise, You have to go back 3 hours. That means 410. 410 is the first Nadi.
Okay.
From the 20 minutes.
Brahma Muruga
Okay.
is 40.
அதுலேருந்து ஒரு 25 minutes 25 minutes
So அப்பதான் அந்த meditation நல்லது.
நல்லது.
So that is the magnetic energy. Magnetic energy is always
Then you
good
can
for
mercury.
jnana.
mercury energy கிடைக்கிறதுனால அது ரொம்ப
Copper energy is good for movement, for body functions. The Brahma
So if
Muruga is for jnana.
somebody has disease, somebody has circulatory problem, um, anything related to blood, right? If they exposed to sunlight, 18th Nadi, Lord Muruga, it will be much better. So,
Anemic people also.
Anemic people also, you can say. Even if you cannot get sunlight that day, it is cloudy and everything, you can sit in the meditation. Awareness.
Weeks, last couple of weeks, Sunday.
Sunday பார்த்தோம். Okay. I was just imagining that. I was telling him that.
இப்பதான் கொஞ்சம் வருது.
Yeah. With the awareness, wherever you are, you're sitting and imagine sun and getting the light. That should also. That's what it is. Awareness is more important. When you meditate, maybe you can meditate on the sun. Gayatri Mantra, maybe you can say. And then that will help. கனிமங்கள் செயற்கையால் உருவாகும் இவ்வாற்றலானது இயற்கை ஒளியிழைகள் மூன்றாம் ஜாமத்தின் இறுதி நாழிகள் வெளித்தோன்றும் தாமிர ஆற்றலே உயர்ந்த இயக்கத்திற்கு உதவிடும். தாமிரக்கனியின் இப்பிரிவு ஆற்றலை மயில் துத்தம் எனும் இது அழைக்கக்கூடியது. ஆல்சோ கால் மயில் துத்தம். மயில் துத்தம்னா copper sulfate. Copper sulfate, the one which is blue color, right?
Yes.
So Lord Muruga says it can also be called as copper sulfate. When you say copper sulfate, right, like mercury and all, you should not imagine what we see on the earth, like liquid mercury. Imagine that is become vaporized in heat and the microparticles,
In the air.
atomic energy. Other mere so that comes through the light.
It's not with the earth. You cannot imagine it with the earth. You have to imagine it with the cosmic energy, copper sulfate.
So each of the molecule, right? They all have atoms. Inside the atoms, you have atomic particles, proton, neutron. Inside those particles, you have a lot of nucleons. That's what he's talking about. Imagine that energy is spread through the.
In here. It's not like a compound.
No, not like a compound. So that's what he means. That's what we name it. So mile tutam. So it's copper sulfate. Okay, that means that copper sulfate quality. You are getting it in the 18th Nadi. கனிமங்களின் சேர்க்கையால் உருவாகும் இவ்வாற்றலானது இயற்கை ஒளியழிகளின் மூலம் புவியினையும் மாடு அன்மக்கள் முடிவு. So not only reaches the earth, our Atman also getting it. Our Atman. So it is very, very important. Essentially, he says sunlight is very important for Atman. Atman's energy and everything. That is why I think in the olden days, when somebody is sick, they ask them to go to places where more sunlight is. Like people come here to Florida. And in India also, they always say, go to some better place where you have more sunlight. It is very, very common. And they expose them to some of the some of the Ayurvedic treatments, particularly with skin treatments, dermal treatment. They ask people to go expose them to sunlight. You will give them some oil. They should put on the skin, and then you go and stand in the sunlight, like thermal or suranga. It goes up, it seems. Now I understand why Lord Muruga, particular the copper is coming, and then blood circulation will be increasing to the particular part of the skin, so it can get healed. So கனிமங்களின் சேர்க்கையால் உருவாகும் இவ்வாற்றலானது இயற்கை ஒளிகளின் மூலம் புவியினையும் மானுட ஆன்மாக்களையும் முடிகிறது. So it not only acts physically, it also acts through the Atman also. செயற்கை முறையில் மானுடரால் உருவாக்கப்படும் மகிழ் துத்தமும் சேர்ந்த பண்பினையே கொண்டிருக்கும். Even the artificially people make the copper sulfate. So that also has the same property. Maybe that's why some of the people give that as a medicine also. They make it.
And then they tell you to drink from the copper
vessel.
Copper sulfate. Some people mix it with water and then they include some herbal thing and then they give it as a tonic and all those stuff. So according to Lord Muruga, even the man-made copper sulfate, that also has the same qualities. இயற்கை ஆற்றலாய் மூன்றாம் ஜாம எல்லையில் புவினை அடைகின்ற தாமிர ஆற்றல் இப்பிரிவானது குடும் நஞ்சாகவே செயல்படுகின்றன. நஞ்சினை கொண்டே நம்மளுக்கு. So copper sulfate is essentially a poison. It is actually a poison, But then it's just like, mullai mullal edukra mari. The sharp thing, you take the sharp thing. So with that, you can also take off your toxins from the body. So it is a toxin, but good toxin. Like people make medicines out of cobra's venom.
Right.
Venom of the snakes, they make
Antidote.
medicine out of it, right? Antidote. The same thing he's talking about. So from the toxin, you can use the for removing the toxins from your Atman as well as body. மானுட ஆன்மாவானது இருக்கின்ற இஞ்ஞாற்றல் என்பது சிரசனை அடைந்து ஒற்றை இணைவால் ஈர்க்கப்பட்டு தலைமைச் சிவன் அடைகின்ற தருணம் மாடலின் மொழியில் ஒரு அற்புத நினைவான் இருந்திடும். இந்த பிக்சரை பாருங்க, இதுதான். ஸோ வாட் இஸ் டாக்கிங் அபவுட், மானுட ஆன்மாவானது ஆத்மன்கிறது மேலே இருக்கிறது, அதுதான் ஆத்மன். அந்த அது கீழே ரெட் இருக்குது, அது கீழே இருக்கு, அது எல்லாமே பீனியல் கிளாண்ட். ஓகே, பீனியல் கிளாண்ட். அந்த சென்டர்ல உயிர் இருக்குது. உயிர் வேற ஆத்மன் வேற. ஆமா, உயிர் வேற ஆத்மன் வேற. பத்தாம் உயிர் அது மேல இருக்குது.
That pineal gland circulating with the yellow thing with the Atman on top.
The whole yellow thing
is the pineal gland.
Okay.
So what he says,
between sorry to interrupt. But between the pineal gland and then the red is your pituitary.
Yeah,
right there. So that's your secret space.
Okay.
Between the pineal and this pituitary
All in
is
your brain.
everything is sacred. Like he was saying, it's compressed like a spring. This has just been expanded,
right.
But it's compressed like a spring.
Okay, it's not as wide.
It's not wide because it's compressed. Yes. So this has been just expanded, and the blue things that you see are the imprisoned bits that you are. That's what you need to
related to the yugas.
The samskaras.
Samskaras, அது atomic bits that you have, all the karmas and everything that have
karma
been,
and
all the joy, emotion, ego, adella has been imprisoned in those.
அது நம்ம மெடிடேட் பண்ணி ரிலீஸ்
அத எடுத்து அதுக்கு ஆத்மனுக்கு sunlight போட்டேன்னா you will start releasing these little bits to reach moksha.
So
we get trapped.
Okay.
There are 10 of them. There are 10
trapped in
circles.
emotions.
Trapped in everything. Those are the ones. It's got a lot of meaning. I'll explain later, but it's very nice to look here.
So the Shrimani Nadi. Also, there are 10 rings there. The first ring is during the Satyuga. The next 3 is the Dwapara, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. Next 3. The last 3 is the Kali Yuga. So, Angadam, you have the Anam, Kanmam, Mai, all those 3 are there. Mummalam Sulang Tamil. Mummalam. That is there.
That is towards the pituitary gland.
The last.
So if you look from the pituitary gland, the first 3.
So they all have meaning to it.
Anam, Kanmam, Maya, those are the ones we have to get rid of. So if we get rid of that, we'll jump to the Treta Yuga.
Also, the sun is helping to get rid of it.
That is what.
Yes.
That's why they're saying, because as it goes through, it clear. Because what I was telling about the subatomic bits, right? Those need the food also in order to be liberated. And they have to have a certain kind of atmosphere in order to come out and receive the food. Now, when during the copper energy, those bits also get the food, but they cannot come out. They accept the energy. You will learn later on in the silver where it actually comes out.
Okay.
But we have to create that environment during copper energy in order for when silver comes, it is ready to liberate itself. So that is what it's trapped here.
It's stuck in that.
It's stuck in that zone.
So if you know this picture, you will understand what he's talking about. Manuda ஆன்மாவானது ஆத்மன் இருக்கின்ற நெஞ்சாற்றல் என்பது சிரசனை அடைந்து ஒற்றை இணைவால் இருக்கப்பட்டு from the ஆத்மன் it is coming to ஒற்றை இணை, the உயிர், single atom. And then தலைமைச்சிறுமையுடன் pituitary. Then it comes from there to here. அடைகின்ற தருணம் மாணவர்கள் மூளையில் ஒரு அற்புத நிகழ்வானது நிகழ்ந்திடும். அப்போ மயில் துத்தம் எனப்படும் தாமர ஒளியாற்றின் வாயு மூலக்குள் யாவும் உப்பின் படிமங்களாக உருமாற்றப்பட்டு சனிச்சிறுவனை அடைகிறது. So it is becoming copper sulfate, then it goes to Saturn. Saturn இந்த பக்கம். Saturn planet. So we have a planetary.
In a round ring.
இல்ல அந்த எந்த கலர்
yellow
அந்த ரெட் கலர் அந்த ரிங் இருக்கு Saturn.
So according to him, see, with this all representation in our brain, we have some gland patches which are similar to the planets in our brain itself.
Oh.
So that is how the numerology and the astrology
Work out.
think differently and everything connection. So he's trying. This is our regular lesson. We take this and we study from there. So the copper sulfate goes to the Sunny, Saturn atom. He says மயில்துத்தம் எனப்படும் தாமர ஒளியாற்றின் வாயு மூலக்கையாகவும் உப்பின் படிமங்களாகவும் மாற்றப்பட்டு சனிச்சிறுவனை அடைகிறது. சாட்டன். சந்திரச்சிறபியானது சந்திரச்சிறபிக்கு இந்த ஒயிட் அறிவு வருங்க. The white is the moon.
The moon, yes. Right inside.
Sun, அது வந்து you can imagine that as a sun actually, the pituitary imagine பண்ணிக்கலாம் நீங்க. But சந்திரன் வந்து அது வச்சுங்களேன். So white is the moon. சந்திரச்சிறபியானது நஞ்சிழைகளில் பயணிக்கும் அமில ஆற்றலையே ஏற்றிடும். So that will take only, there are 3 strands we talk about. One is the magnetic strand, heat strand, and the toxic strand. So whatever comes to the toxic strand, that goes to Chandrachirabi, the moon gland. வெப்ப இழை பயணிக்கும் வாயின் மூலக்கூறு யாவும் தலைமைச்சிறுவனை அடையும் தருணம். So those which are coming through the heat strand, that is going to go to pituitary. அவை கொடிய நஞ்சு என்பதை உணர்ந்து அவ்வாற்றல்களை சனிச்சிறபிக்கு அனுப்பிடும். So because it is very, very toxic and very bad, so it is going to send it to the Saturn, it seems. தலைமைச்சிறவி என்பதனை அடைதல் வேண்டும். உணர்ந்து அவ்வாற்றலை சனிச்சிறபிக்கு அனுப்பிடும். So it's a very, very complex thing.
That's why moon இருக்கும்போது, like full moon எல்லாம் you have that emotion.
Change
Right, yeah.
Your emotions are heightened, whether it's sad or happy.
Anything.
Anything.
And that also depends. Or a lot of people, lunatic people, they that's what because
exaggerated. The same feeling, emotion get exaggerated because of more energy. Okay, so that explains a lot of things, you know, if you really understand many things. நஞ்சிழைகள் மூலம் ஏற்கப்படும், how are you doing the time? Okay. நஞ்சு இழைகளின் மூலம் ஏற்கப்படும் ஒளியாற்றல் அனைத்தும் சந்திரச்சிறுவனால் ஏற்படும். எனினும் நஞ்சு இழைகளின் மூலம் ஏற்கப்படும் ஒளியாற்றல் அனைத்தும், I already told you that all this energy which is coming from the toxic strand that goes to moon. எனினும் மாற்று இழைகளை பயணிக்கும் நஞ்சாற்றல் யாவும் சனிச்சிறுவன் மாத்திரமே. So only those toxic strand goes to the moon. Rest of the strand's energy goes to Saturn.
Rest of the toxins.
Toxins, other strands like magnetic strand and the heat strand, that goes to Saturn. Okay, yeah.
And my sister-in-law, she did this. We had asked it, and she drew that. We just have to name it. She just came, and now she's not in India.
Yeah.
And we have to label it. And then, but it is this what she drew.
Okay. Where is the question going? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, everything makes kind of.
Now it connects. Once you understand this, it connects everything.
எனினும் மாற்று இழை பயணிக்கும் நஞ்சாற்றல் யாவும் சனிச்சிறுவன் மாத்திரமே ஏற்கப்படும். மூன்றாம் ஜாம எல்லை என்பது that is 18th நாழிகை மயில்துத்தம் எனும் கொடும் நஞ்சினை புவிக்கு அளித்திடும். So now he is going to go to the earth. Even the earth gets the toxins during that time, 18th நாழிகை. The brain, it goes to the moon and Saturn. The earth also gets it completely at that time, toxins.
Stop there.
Time, சரி, இதை முடிக்கிறாங்க. சூரிய ஒளியாற்றல் ஏன் இவ்வித நஞ்சு கலப்பட வேண்டும்? தாமர ஒளியாற்றலே வெப்பைகள் யாவும் அதீத வெப்பத்தினை ஏற்பதனால் அதனுடன் மூலக்கூறுகள் கலப்படும் தருணத்திலே பல்வேறு வேதியியங்கு மாற்றங்கள் நடைபெறும். Lot of chemical reactions happens during that time. அவ்வகையில் தாமிரமும் வெப்பமும் வாயுவின் மூலக்கூறுகளும் கலப்படும் தருணம் கூடிய நஞ்சாகவும் இயற்கை ஒளியாற்றின் அமலக்கழிவுகளாகும் புவியினையும் மானுட சிரசுகளையும் அடைகிறது. பல்வேறு மேல்பரப்பில் அடைகின்ற ஒளியாற்றல் என்பது பல்வேறு தாவர இடங்களால் ஏற்கப்படுகின்றன. So even the plants also gets this toxic energy during that time. Not only earth, the plants also. தாவரங்களின் வளர்ச்சிக்கு இவ்வாற்றல் என்பது பெருமல் உதவும். Apparently it seems it is very helpful for the plants growth, this copper sulfate. I think most of the fertilizers also has got a copper sulfate. We are talking about the natural one,
Natural.
natural copper sulfate. In terms of sunlight. தாவரங்களுக்கு உருவாகும் பல்வேறு பிணிகளை நீக்கிட வல்லது இவ்வாற்றலானது முறையற்ற நிலையில் ஏற்பட்டால் தாவரங்களை அழித்திடும். தாவரங்களுக்கு உருவாகும் பல்வேறு பிணிகளை நீக்கிட வல்ல இவ்வாற்றலானது முறையற்ற நிலையில் ஏற்கப்பட்டால் தாவரங்களை அழித்திடும் ஆற்றல் கொண்டது. So, plants has to get this copper sulfate naturally. If you're going to do it unnatural, that's what you just talked about, fertilizers. And then it can even destroy the plants, it seems. Too much of that copper sulfate. Maybe that is why some of these lands which use the fertilizers, after some time they get
They can't do it.
they can do it. They are not really natural.
Sustain that.
People have seen that, yeah. So they highly recommend to use natural.
Long term.
You may get it immediately a lot, but then it dries up. The ஆற்றலும் கொண்டது. சரி, இயற்கை ஒளி அலைகளாய் இத்தாமர வளத்தினை ஏற்கும் தாவரங்கள் உயரிய ஆற்றலை பெற்றிடும். So those which are getting naturally, like a wild plant, they are getting higher energy. தாவரங்கள் அனைத்தும் தான் சேமித்திடும் ஆற்றல்களாய் இவ்வாற்றலை தரம் கொண்டே உருமாற்றிடும். தாவரங்கள் அனைத்தும் தான் சேமித்திடும் ஆற்றல்களாய் இவ்வாற்றலை தரம் கொண்டே உருமாற்றிடும். So all those wild plants and everything, when they get this copper sulfate, it's in their storage for future use, it seems. So very interesting concept Muruga is telling us. So I'm going to stop there. So any questions? We'll get a question, Muruga.
Yeah.
So the orange one is Mars. The one next to it, the yellow one, is Jupiter. Below that is Saturn. Then on this side of the brain, of the pituitary gland, the gray is the Mercury. And I supposed to be brown, but it's actually silver, but it's Venus.
Okay.
And in the middle white is the moon gland.
So now you can understand how when somebody is born.
Yeah. All they talk about
it's all within this.
அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாது, but those Java people don't know that we have some glandular patches in the brain itself. தெரியாது, but அவங்க வேற கனெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. But this is the real scientific reason. Instead of brain itself, அதோட waves வந்து affect பண்ணும்போது.
The position of the earth, the position of the planet. The planet you're born also starts affecting your emotions
and how you feel on the time that
correct. That is what is happening actually. Exactly. So how these toxins, so they get, you have to work towards those blue. Our main goal is to release these blue.
It has to disappear if you want to get to whatever
you go, and they will get inside the wheel, and then wheel will go and meet the first step. So that is what is the union. That's moksha.
Right. That's the final.
That is your moksha. So to put it in a picture where we know where or how far we have to go.
Right.
Now we don't know.
Sent you WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
இதையும் இந்த லிஸ்ட்டையும் அதை சேர்த்து அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன். Same thing we draw.
It's nice to have it visual.
That's what to understand this makes so much sense now. So we know how far we have to go. It gives a very vision for us.
But நம்ம வந்து எப்ப ஆரம்பிச்சோம் ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாதுன்னா, like when we started, how far we've gotten.
But we know that there are some, obviously we are born here, so we know we have something. I don't know.
Karmas of Satyuga is also that. I mean, the whole thing is transferring even when we are dead, even the body is gone.
Right.
Even then it'll go. So it'll go and then wait for the rebirth and everything. That is why the Satyuga has one circle. Because we are all born. We are all born from Satyuga also. According to some of the scriptures, 84,000 souls are born in Satyuga, and then they transfer to different generations. So that means if you are having the Satyuga imprints in this ceremony, that means it is transferring. It is coming, keep on going and changing. The Uttagari Tottagari வரும்போது தான், then because the imprint is out, like what we are doing today, Babaji's grace, this knowledge and these ideas will go to next birth also. And by the time
But you
we
don't
are
have
aware,
time to activate that,
Activate that.
right? Because you're clueless.
That's why they are saying you're wasting your time doing outside things when you have so much inside you to clear off
Right. Yeah.
and move up.
Right.
Otherwise, you will be in the
அந்த
cycle of
மாயாலே நம்ம
you will
வந்து
Maya and will go. And now a lot of cosmic changes have also occurred.
Right.
So that is also now Kali Yuga is going to end. So we need to. It's now a very high time that we realize this and we
get to that.
we can move on. Otherwise, we will just get destroyed.
Right.
So that's why the urgency is there.
Yes.
The call for urgency.
okay, you don't have any questions there, okay?
No.
So let's finish our session today, and thanks to Babaji for all the explanations and opportunity to read and explain. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaya Navasima Mavaya Nasi Siya Namava Vashimaya Navo Shivaya Namaya Navasima Mavaya Nasi Siya Namava Vashimaya Navo Shivaya Namaya Mavayana Shishiyana Vashimayana Shivayana Mayana Vashima 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 Mavayana Shishiyana Vashimayana Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, உங்க வீடியோ அடிச்சிங்க ரொம்ப அமேசிங்கா இருந்ததுல ஜெயஸ்ரீ சொல்லியிருந்தேன் அதை பத்தி
in the last couple of days, and it's just like அது சொல்றதெல்லாம்
this is a very good evidence Babaji is still acting on people.
he started young now. வந்து சின்ன வயசுல
I don't need that.
and multiple people.